Hi everybody, welcome to the second little bit of filming with the tutors that we're going to be having at this October's Knit Tea Retreat. And the lovely Lisa has kindly invited me to her house, because she's only down the road from me, to talk about the yoga she's going to be offering. Could you let people know just a little bit about who you are, how you teach, and what makes you a crafting yoga person?
Okay. So my name is Lisa, and I have been a yoga teacher for 16 years. I've been a yoga teacher longer than I've been a crafter. So
Okay.
I became a crafter when my eldest child was born, and I wanted to knit a jumper for her. And my mother-in-law tried to teach me to knit, and I just could not get it. So I checked a book out of the library, and I ended up teaching myself how to knit, which means I kind of have a wonky style, but that's okay.
Is it people learn very differently? Some people need to be shown, other people are better from a book. That's interesting.
Yeah. It took me a while to get it, but now what I learned about that is I really enjoy learning things, teaching myself.
Yeah.
I'm a better student of myself than of other people, perhaps. And that ties into yoga, because yoga is about learning from yourself, looking within, slowing down, and just being you're a student of yourself, I suppose.
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Okay, but you still enjoy teaching and helping others, guiding others.
I do. I really enjoy teaching, because to me, teaching doesn't feel like teaching other people. It feels like journeying with them, learning with them. So when I go and teach my class, I am practicing yoga along with them, even if I'm up off my mat, traveling around, having a look at what they're doing, maybe offering an adjustment. But I still feel that we're all practicing together, which is really nice, because, one of the reasons why you have a Knit Tea Retreat is because people enjoy coming together to do something they love. Yeah. And so for me, when I finish teaching a yoga class, I maybe don't feel like I've had an hour and a half of yoga, but I feel like I've taken a step.
Yeah, been part of something.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really nice feeling.
That is a nice feeling.
It is, yeah. I really love teaching.
You're obviously a knitter. I can see from your lovely top.
Yes.
Tell us what you're wearing.
I'm wearing Bonnie by Tin Can Knits, and I think I knitted it in Fiber Spates green lace. Oh yeah, this colorway is called Tweed Imps.
Oh wow!
And I think that's why I bought it, because of the colorway. Yeah. And I had it sitting in my stash for ages, but in the summer I really like to knit something from lace weight, because then you can still wear your knitting even during the summer.
Even when it's hot and sticky. Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And
I can see it's just behind the camera, but you've got an Ashford traditional spinning wheel as well.
I do. Yeah. I love my spinning wheel, but I have spindles. I started spindling first, and that was lovely, and I still use them, and I love their portability. So we go camping quite a lot, and I love to take them along with me. They also fit into a bum bag quite handily. If you're a bum bag wearer.
I've got a special bum bag for when we do yarn shows.
Okay.
The money and the card machine and stuff like that. So I last no room for spindles.
There's a little, like a tiny Turkish spindle.
Teeny
tiny one. Little Enodash crossword.
I was chatting to Angela when I went to see her yesterday, and I've moved on from spindle spinning.
Have you? So it's all wheels now?
Yeah. It's a little slow for my tastes, but
it's slow.
Yeah.
But I'm working through some fleeces. I have possibly a fleece to human ratio in my house of about 5 to 1.
Right.
So it's almost like you acquire one and then they kind of multiply, the mushroom.
It happens.
It does happen, and it's not a problem. It's
just welcome it into your
life. Exactly. It's abundance. I'm welcoming abundance.
Interesting.
And so I do feel the need to kind of use my wheel, since it's a bit faster, to do that production spinning, and to sort of work through some of my fleeces to try to sort of keep my family members happy and at bay. Yeah. Because we're starting to run out of room.
Well, with your eldest going to university soon, that can become the fleece storage area.
It will have to be the fleece storage area, exactly. We're running out of pillowcases, let's put it that way, because I store them all in pillowcases.
Amazing.
It's not a bad problem.
You need to stop tempting me, because I haven't dabbled in that, and I think it would be the final straw.
As soon as somebody gives you one and you smell, many people buy fleeces, and I have bought them online, but I did start becoming very bold and just going up to people and going, I see you're shearing your sheep. What are you going to do with that? And they're like, oh, we just throw it away. But once you smell it and you feel the lanolin, and there's something very primal and addictive about spinning from fleece.
Yeah.
And I'm half Egyptian, and so I feel that there is something about going back to those oldest textiles in the world, kind of within me. You know, just seeing those little bits of flax weaving and the growing of the cotton along the Nile. There's something about that inside of me. I know there is, you know.
And that's what's filling your spare room.
And that's what's filling my spare room. As well as my husband working from home.
Amazing.
And a spare bed and, you know.
Amazing.
It's
all about fitting crafting into your daily life. That's fine.
Yeah, crafting and yoga.
Absolutely. So you're going to be offering a Yoga for Crafters workshop.
Yes.
So could you tell us a little bit more about that? You know, the thinking behind it, the issues you'll be addressing, and what, if any, experience attendees would need to have.
Okay, so my experience of crafting is you get achy. Sometimes the hands hurt, sometimes the wrists feel a bit sore. A period of time of spinning in possibly a hunched over position or having the arm up when you're spindling can leave you feeling achy. And it's annoying to not be able to sit down with your knitting needles comfortably because you're in pain. So to a certain degree, there's things that we can do with yoga and movement of the body to help to ease those injuries, to ease those aches and pains. And so that's what I'm hoping to introduce some of that. Additionally, part of the reason why we have those aches and pains is because we're possibly using the body in a way that's not ergonomically sympathetic to the way the body needs to and wants to work. So developing a sense of mindfulness and awareness of how we're using the body in a repetitive way can help us to keep going for longer with the crafts.
Yeah. So you'd be looking at perhaps some movement patterns for easing pain that you have in the moment, and then you were mentioning perhaps some strengthening exercises so that those aches and pains don't return.
Yeah, exactly, because it's about keeping going, isn't it? And yoga is a practice for life that you don't need to spend an hour and a half in a class every single day in order to practice yoga in your life. You could simply become more aware of whether or not you're clenching your jaw while you're working on a lace pattern, or whether you're furrowing your brow as you're working with fiber. You know, there's these very yogic things about being mindful, breathing, you know, letting go of tension, have a congruence with crafting that is really rather useful. So bringing strength and flexibility into what we do as crafters can have a lot of benefit and keep us able to do it for longer.
I definitely get plying shoulder.
Do you? Because the repetitive action.
Yeah, just running it through like this. And I have arthritis as well, so I have to be careful. Like, the temptation to sit and spin for over an hour is strong.
Yes.
Like, should I actually have that much spare time?
Yeah.
But I get into that state of flow with spinning and I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
And then I realise my hands are claws.
Yes.
And I've got that crick in my shoulder. So, I mean, I don't practice yoga myself. I'm more of a strength training athlete.
Yes.
But again, as I age, as I'm dealing with arthritis, flexibility, mobility is becoming much more a part of what I do.
Yeah.
And the more I do those things, the easier the rest of my life is, but crafting in particular. So yeah, that shoulder ache or the tightness in your hands, and you do realise you're sort of
you're clenching. Yeah,
exactly.
You do feel you're clenching, and you know, when you're long drawing, you're constantly pulling this arm back and like plying, and that repetitive motion of the shoulders and the arms can bring in a lot of soreness and tightness, as you say. And especially if you're holding on, the mind sometimes when we're doing these things, you know, a lot of us stress knit. You know, you're waiting to find out whether your grown child has got off that airplane safely, or whether they're going to be home at 2:00 in the morning from being out for a night in Cardiff. You're sitting on the sofa stress knitting. Well, stress knitting comes with a certain degree of shoulder tension, jaw tension, because you're stressed.
I knit some bulletproof socks by accident. 10 stitches an inch.
Tight tension.
Couldn't I honestly knitting like this. So those went to Jocelyn, my daughter. To my daughter and one of hers friends from school.
Yeah.
So now Jocelyn has these beautiful Christmas West Yorkshire Spinners socks that should have been mine.
Right.
But I couldn't get them over my foot.
The wool didn't even need the nylon content.
That's
how firm the tension is.
It's Kevlar, basically. But she enjoys them, and sometimes we knit things and we have to let them go.
Right.
So
they were a product of that moment. I knitted a banana leaf shawl. I don't know if you've seen that. That's another lace weight pattern. It is an absolutely beautiful pattern. If you've ever been to a garden and you've seen a banana leaf and looked at it through the light, that is what this shawl looks like. It is that long shape with a central rib. And the bottom of it is supposed to be pointed. And I ran out of yarn, and it was during the very first lockdown, and I just cast off, and it's that shape now. And I look at it and I think, this is a wonky shawl because it was a wonky time.
It is of its moment.
It is. It is. And when I look at it, I will always remember how wonky that time was, being in that difficult, we don't know what's going to happen time of life. Yeah.
No, I think there's a huge crossover between crafting, mindfulness, physical movement.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of the people that are part of our community are yoga, Pilates, mindfulness, all these sorts of things. So yeah, I'm excited about your workshops. I think they're going to be super popular. And there's no, what if you've never done yoga at all?
Oh, just come anyway.
Come anyway.
Yeah. So it's for all abilities, and I am used to having somebody turn up at a class and go, I've never practiced before. Is this okay that I've turned up? Yeah, of course it is. When I teach with the beginner in mind, but I always add an add-on if you're a more advanced student and say, well, if you're comfortable with that, why not try this? And then, oh, you tried that, that wasn't comfortable, then pull back to the very first option. I think anybody could come along who wanted to come along.
Oh, that's fantastic. Lisa also teaches locally, Cardiff in the Vale of Glamorgan. I'll make sure that I leave details of her website and how you can find her underneath. And of course, she'll be around. I'm hoping to convince her to stay for the social on the Saturday night.
Does it involve a takeaway?
Yeah. And it's bring your own booze. So you need to be careful of what you're knitting.
Yes.
Knitting and drinking. So that,
Kevlar sock.
Yeah, Kevlar sock.
Or possibly a net sock.
Yeah. Or accidental lace socks.
Right, exactly.
Dropping all the stitches. If you're local to the area, do check out Lisa's other classes. You teach on Zoom as well as in person, which is fabulous.
So if you're not local, it's great. I do have students from as far away as California.
That's amazing.
So it's morning for them.
Yeah.
And the Welsh students are always like, what's the weather in California? Oh, it's 114 degrees. Oh, no.
Not my thing.
No, exactly. It's really hot there right now.
Yeah.
So I have students from California. I have students from Abergavenny. People just come from all over on Zoom because it's accessible now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. COVID and lockdown has done an awful lot for accessibility in all sorts of ways. So we came up with an online retreat for lockdown.
Did you?
So in February we do an online retreat, and people from all over the world. It's
really nice.
Lots of people in America propping their eyelids open at 7 a.m.
That's a commitment.
We've got one lady in Australia, so when she joins us for the monthly Sitter Knits for our Patreon society, she sets an alarm for 5:30, and I'm always impressed.
Wow.
So nice to see her. It's real dedication.
It is.
So yeah, it's lovely to get a global community. It sounds a bit cheesy, but I love it. It's really nice.
It is. It's really nice. It's lovely that the internet enables us to come together like that. Yeah. So for crafting and for yoga.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for my tea.
That's all right.
And for the chats. And hopefully we'll see you in crafting yoga for crafters.
Yeah. Come practice yoga with me. It'll be fun.
Perfect. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.